the Hondas, so we'll see, interesting to see how he progresses all the way through. On screen though he is shown in pole position, although it will actually be Catherine Potter on the inside from Charlie Wyatt. Then we'll have Jared Fox-Whiteley, Lizzie Mentier, Gracie Mitchell, David Mack and Sebastian Corking. Charlie Benson, Max Shields, Thomas Potter in 10th. Stanmore Wilson will be 11th, although shown 12th. Frankie Smedley, Oliver Watson, Connor Duddy, Jake Bowry are through 15. Then we've got Jacob Giblett-Lee, Finlay Fishburne, both drivers with 160s. Kian McLeod, Addison Smith, Sophie Pawsey, Max Bowry, William Howood and Felix Smedley. We've got 27 drivers on the grid, or 28 actually, with Oliver Green, Josh Cooke and Jack Thompson rounding out 28. 29th of our drivers will be Ollie Poole in the mini rock, although I'm not sure he's going to come through, and I think he was just out practicing that car earlier on in the day. So on the inside of the front row will be Catherine Potter lining up alongside Charlie Wyatt. Row number 2, Jared Fox-Whiteley on the inside of Lizzie Mentier. Then we're going to have Gracie Mitchell in the 11, David Mack in the 16 for row number 3, Sebastian Corking and the 25 of Charlie Benson. And then we've got Thomas Potter and the 18, which is Max Shields. That is your top 10. Stanmore Wilson and Smedley, one of the two Smedleys lining up on row number 6. And then we've got Oliver Watson on the inside of Connor Duddy, Max Bowry, and then the 28 of Jacob Giblett-Lee as the final few of our drivers line themselves up. We do have the 94 of Ollie Poole. He will line up in the Seoul Mini Rock on the outside of the grid. And we've got Addison Smith in the 15. He will be sent forward, I think, and he will join onto the back of the outside of the back row. He will join onto the back of the number 3 of Josh Cooke. Everybody is in place. Start line marshal, green flag in hand. Cadets run straight down and round the national loop. No chicane for those either. Green is away and down. Good start by Potter from pole position. Gets to the inside. Wyatt comes across and slots into second. So it's Potter from Wyatt. Mentier in third. We've got the 22. Fox-Whiteley 4th. Mitchell into 5th. Mack remains in 6th. There's a slight gap though back. Looks like Ollie Poole's made a good start, and it's split the rear end of the pack as Catherine Potter leads for the first time onto the back straight. Charlie White behind as the 25 of Benson tries to come to the inside, chopping and changing as they go down the back straight, but everybody's got themselves into a single line apart from David Mack, who tries to move to the inside of Sab Corking. So it's Potter who will lead over the line for the first time. 8 laps in Cadets. So it's going to be Potter from Wyatt, Mentier, Fox-Whiteley, Mitchell in 5th. Corking 6th, Max 7th, Benson, Smedley, Stanmore Wilson round the top 10. Fishburne, McLeod, Watson, Bowry, Giblett-Lee, Thompson, Duddy, Shields, Poole and Thomas Potter. Tough start for him, is down in 20th from his 10th place berth. David Mack has got himself back past Sebastian Corking, runs Corking to the inside of the track. Corking's on the white line. Corking will get the job done though and gets back into 6th place. Mack drops back to 7th. Aggressive defending there by the 16 of Mack. Corking though got the cart to the inside, and Mack gave him just enough room to remain on circuit. Potter will come through for the second of 8 laps at the head of the field once again. So it's Potter, Wyatt, Mentier, Fox-Whiteley, Mitchell, Corking, Mack, Benson, Frankie Smedley and Stanmore Wilson, the top 10. Then we've got Kian McLeod, Oliver Watson and Ollie Poole up to 13th already in that mini rock. There he is in the background in the blue cart as we have the 22 of Fox-Whiteley giving up 4th place to the charging Gracie Mitchell. She's now right onto the back of Lizzie Mentier for 3rd as the top 2 have broken away, Potter and Wyatt, although if they start battling very shortly I think they'll back themselves up into this battle for 3rd place. Mentia quite slow out of hairpin 4, and Mitchell is right on the back. Will she make a move into the chicane? No, I don't think she's going to have enough room to slide it down the inside, but it's Mentia 3rd, Mitchell 4th, Fox Whiteley in 6th. Paul is up to 11th, Stanmore Wilson down in 8th. Giblet Lee jumps up into 14th. Looks like he could be our leading 160 driver out there. So Wyatt now on the back of Potter as contact at the early part of that corner, and we've got Gracie Mitchell spinning up and into the gravel on the outside of the loop. We'll stay with the leaders as Wyatt will look to go to the inside of Catherine Potter, but we've got Gracie Mitchell now well down the field and out of 4th place. Contact as they went into the South Bank corner, and she found herself up and facing the wrong way in the gravel on the outside, but she's back running. So it's Potter, Wyatt, Mentia, Fox Whiteley, Corking, Mack, Benson and Poole all the way up to 8th from the back of the grid. There he is in the 94, last year's O Plate winner. Will give that up this season, having opted to test out a mini rock for the first time here at Teesside. So the battle for heat number 1, with 4 laps remaining, remains that at the front of the number 20 of Catherine Potter from the 23 of Charlie Wyatt. Contact warning for the 22 of Jared Fox Whiteley. So there we have the answer as to what sent Gracie Mitchell round South Bank and up the bank. It was the number 22 of Jared Fox Whiteley. There we see the marshal in the background with the half black, half white flag, the warning flag for the number 22 of Fox Whiteley. The lead battle, though, between Potter and Wyatt remains with a slight gap. Looks like they're going to close up onto the back of one of our first back markers. And, we'll see whether Wyatt uses that to try and slingshot his way past Potter. Tries to go for the inside. Very late move, though, and backs out and lives to battle for another day. They're going to catch the back marker, though, mid-corner. Potter's going to go to the inside. Look, gets balked slightly, and Charlie Wyatt's now going to see if he can get right onto the back of Gracie Mitchell. Looks like we've got Ollie Poole, though, running all the way up in 3rd in that number 94, using the additional power. Goes round the outside of the chicane, so both of our leaders negotiate the back marker without any problem. Some of them are going to go right round the outside of the number 48. I'm going to go full lead. It's Corking, though, in the 52. On the back of the number 50 of Lizzie Mentia. Sebastian Corking, a driver that has really come out of nowhere in the last couple of rounds, made some steady improvements and finds himself trying to find a way into 3rd place in our 200 class, although it's going to end up getting balked slightly. In the 22 of Fox Whiteley, he's going to try and run right round the outside, cut back to the inside. And see whether now he's going to cut right to the inside, and they're going to go side by side through the sweeping bends, and Fox Whiteley's going to have to be brave to stick it out round the outside. Contact between the two of them, so Fox Whiteley and Corking. Side pod to side pod. Corking stays in front, and both of them live to see the last lap through. Out at the front, though, Ollie Poole has found his way past the whole field and runs at the front, but it's Catherine Potter at the top of the pile when it comes to 200s, holding off Charlie Wyatt for 2nd place. I think both of those two would be quite wise to stick it out at the front and have a front row start as they try and collect as many points as possible for the final, as they come up, though, to a number of back markers, and let's see whether any of those are going to come into play. Potter will come to the inside. Wyatt's going to follow her. I think they're going to stay line astern, and they'll start heat number 2 from the front row. So it's going to be Potter from Wyatt, with Ollie Poole taking the outright win in the mini rock. Mentia holds on to 3rd overall in Extreme Cadet, with Seb Corking in 5th, Fox Whiteley 6th, Max 7th, Benson 8th, McLeod 9th. Frankie Smedley rounds out the top 10 overall, 9th in class, with Stanmore Wilson coming through in 11th. Gracie Mitchell recovers to finish in 14th behind Oliver Watson and Jake Bowery. Jacob Giblet Lee, our top 160 runner, in 15th, with Thomas Potter recovering to 16th, having dropped from 10th to 20th on the opening lap. With Connor Duddy, Finlay Fishburn, Jack Thompson, Addison Smith rounding out the 20 of 29 drivers And now a very busy cadet grid, some of them still coming over the line at the end of the session, but in the background we've got outright winner Ollie Poole and Catherine Potter coming through. Our cadet extreme winner brings an end to our cadet session. 2 more classes, which will be senior pro car and senior Rotax, to end our cycle of races here at Teesside. Then we'll be back round again to our Bambino drivers. Have another quick back look through the live stream comments, and if you are watching us on YouTube, please do get in touch with us on there.